Yeah, what's good, cryptocurrency fans out there? Welcome back to the Everything Altcoin channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the top virtuals ecosystem plays that we need to be paying attention to in 2026. These guys are still upgrading a lot of different things, and you guys may have seen virtuals start to pump a little bit more, so we got to talk about the ecosystem. Now, before we get into talking about all of that, I would like to ask you guys to subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. We're on the road to 30k subscribers. If you guys want to help out with that, hit that red subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video, comment what you guys think down below, and while you guys are down there, you guys can hit that Discord link to join the Discord to continue the crypto conversation we're having daily. And you guys can ask your most important question: how does that Patreon group works? But you know what's funny? I got a comment recently: where do you post all your banger plays? Obviously it's in the Discord, but if you guys want to get a preview of all the plays we've gotten into already, you guys could just go on to Patreon and look through the post, and the post will show you guys all the plays, the banger plays we've gotten into, the gains we've hit on, and that will give you guys an understanding of the plays we get into, when we get into, and pretty much where they're at when they pretty much get hyped. While you guys are on Patreon, you guys can pick up my Essentials to Master Tokenomics ebook. This will help you guys pick out the next gem of your cryptocurrency portfolio. Once you're able to understand market cap, FDV, circulating supply, narrative investing, all of that is very important to picking out the next gem of your cryptocurrency portfolio. Then after you've done your DD, you guys can sign up for my Patreon group, see if it's for you guys. You know, there's a discount going on that you guys can test out for the first month just to check out the group, get your feet wet into the group. Right now is a slow market, but once the market starts to pick up again, you guys want to be in this group here. Then lastly, if you guys don't have a cold storage wallet already, I use Tangent. If you guys want that as well, you guys can use code Everything Altcoin, save yourself 10%. And let's get right into the video, guys. So at this point in time, it should be very clear to you guys that virtuals is actually one of the strongest altcoins on the base ecosystem as of right now. The market went down. Of course, it went down all the way down to about 64 cents. You guys could have got it again at the lows, and then you guys can see from December 31st it honestly started to pump again, and now we're sitting here at 90 cents. This lets you know virtuals is one of the strongest base plays out there, and there's a lot of people that are interested in what virtuals is going to be building out here. Of course, the big question is, will we see that all-time high again of $5? I do think there's a possibility that we can, but we'll have to see how the overall market is looking. Now, they put out their post ship or die trying, which is basically letting us know everything that they shipped in 2025. You guys already know we've covered a lot of it on this channel here. 2025 marked as a decisive inflection point for virtuals protocol. We scaled from being an agent launchpad into operating as a full stack infrastructure for the agent economy. We shipped Agent Commerce Protocol, ACP, the economic rail that enables agents to transact, coordinate, and generate revenue autonomously, into full production, pushing agentic GDP past $450 million. We experimented, then retired Genesis, fully transitioning into Unicorn as the primary launch mechanism for agents. Now you guys know that Genesis actually did bring back virtuals talk a lot during that time, right? But then people got tired of the whole point system. There was just some flaws in it, and then now they retired it and moved on to Unicorn. Now a lot of people aren't talking about the butler that they have, but we upgraded butler from an assistant into an execution layer, enabling trading, capital routing, and agent orchestration. We started virtuals robotics and scaled Seesaw past 500,000 real world tasks, extending the stack into a physical world. We expanded global distribution through exchange listing, retail access, indices, and institutional research coverage. They did a lot in 2025. I'm not gonna lie, this team has really shipped a lot. They keep iterating to make virtuals very strong, and that's why I'm a big believer of virtuals going into 2026 as well. Now at the end of this article, they have told us exactly what they're going to be focusing on in 2026. This will give us a hint at some plays that we should be looking forward to from the ecosystem. For 2026, the immediate focus remains on growing agentic GDP from 450 million towards 3 billion annualized through deeper agent to agent commerce, right? So we got to target some ACP plays in that as well. Broader builder participation and continued evolution of Butler as a default execution interface. Now, at the same time, the system begins extending beyond software. As agents mature economically, embodiment becomes inevitable. basically saying we're going to have to look at some embodied AI, which they're doing with their virtuals robotics. The next billion will not come from more launches alone. It will come from embodied agents executing in the real world. The next phase is already underway. Looks like their next phase that they're going to be targeting heavy is going to be embodied agents, looking more into that robotics ecosystem, the robotic space. So 3 things we could focus on right there, then and there, is ACP again, right? And then of course Butler, which is going to be connected to game. And then the third one is embodied agents. And we go onto their new website. It looks actually pretty clean. It tells you exactly what they're focusing on. You guys can see ACP here, Butler, capital markets, robotics. That's their 4 pillars right there that they're focusing on. You guys can go ahead and read through all of that, and it actually showcased some projects up here that we can also look into that they might also be focusing on. This is going to be the project showcase, the hottest projects right now. I don't think these are all going to be the hottest projects, and I also don't know if this is going to continuously change over time just to show some of the trending projects or the projects that they're probably wanting to push a little bit more. So now getting more into the ecosystem a little bit more, AI on Base puts out this tweet. Last 24 hours on Virtuals launched a new website, which we just looked at, right, and kicks off the 2026 with a clear focus on AGDP across Virtuals and physical work powered by ACP. ETH burns 500,000, right, tokens, biggest burn so far as revenue grows, user increases, and the next ETH version rolls out. Predict on Base hits a new all-time high, daily all-time high, 150k plus USDC traded in the last 24 hours, and 2k plus rewards distributed to active traders. NeuroBro, we actually haven't talked about NeuroBro since like season 1 Virtuals, man. Upgrades NeuroDex swap, right? Faster UI, new swap engine, and gasless style swaps now live. And then Reppo has honestly been goated right now during this boring times of the market. We're going to talk about Reppo a little bit later, but Reppo launches the new TVL leaderboard, right? Social posts now drive locked Reppo, weekly USDC rewards, and network growth. Now let's get into some of the top virtual plays out there that I believe in, right? You guys can let me know your list down below, because I know not all of us is going to like the same plays going into 2026. So let's have a discussion in the comment section down below. Now, you know, we had to kick it off with Reppo. Now Reppo, we called it from here and ran it up to here. Now I did get out and then got back in right before the candle actually started to pump again. A lot more people are now witnessing what Reppo is doing. I think this is going to be one of the biggest plays on Virtuals for a little bit. Of course, there's going to be some newer plays that's going to be coming out this year, of course. But right now, Reppo has been so strong that a lot of people across the whole Virtuals community has been talking about Reppo. And as you can see, when we got into Reppo, it was about a 2 million FDV, and it is now sitting at a 34 million FDV. Now this thing, if this continues to run, this is going to be one of our biggest gainers, if depending on if people still held it during this boring time in the group. Like I told you guys, I traded it ran it all the way up to the top, and it got out and it got back in here. So now I'm looking to run this up even more because I got back in with some of the gains we got in with it. Now Goon Crypto puts out this tweet here: Reppo is pumping for real reasons, not just noise, not rotation. Here's why buyers are stepping in. You're seeing real fundamentals catch up to structure. So here are the key drivers for this right now. Subnets are working, right? Prediction markets are not just theory now. Public and private subnets are active. Each subnet is a fee engine, right? Training data is the bottleneck. Models do not fail from lack of compute. They fail from bad feedback. Reppo sells judgment and not raw data. The enterprise angle is clear. Private subnets solve compliance and control. This is what scale AI cannot offer. That's what matters to real buyers. Now the token has real sinks, right? Publishing costs, subnet lockups, solver node fees, buyback from revenue. Then you got the distribution is strong, right? Market structure has flipped. So now a lot more people, I feel like you're going to be seeing a lot more people on X talk about Reppo, making their post. I think you still earn from talking about Reppo. I'm not too sure anymore because I actually haven't been following the social aspect side of it. But I do believe that Reppo is going to be one of those big runners on Virtuals, and we did need one because it's been a while since we had a big runner on Virtuals. Next is Caesar. Now I actually have not taken a position into Caesar at all since it launched. I did see it launched on Solana, then also did launch on virtuals as well, and it has been really down only for it. It had that one big spike back in November here. This was a humongous spike here, but then after that it just retraced, right? But Caesar as a play does look pretty interesting. Kagi put out this tweet here: I got put onto Caesar, right? AI powered research platform designed for high stakes and complex problem solving with a focus on accuracy and verifiable citations. It's pretty much, if you want to look at like ChatGPT, Claude, and things like that, you guys, when you go onto it, you can ask it pretty much anything as an LLM. And Virtuals has put out this tweet a little bit ago. It was a little article talking about the world's first knowledge at your fingertips, right? A builder's testimonial on Caesar by Caesar, pretty much talking about how they're going to be using Caesar and all the other things Caesar is looking to build. And Butler is actually going to be using Caesar. So this is looking pretty interesting, and that's why I kept Caesar on this list. I know it's just been down only, but at some point in time we have to see if there's going to be a reversal and see if we could catch the bottom for Caesar. Now, when I do take my first position into Caesar, it will be posted into the Patreon group, of course. Now, Tibber is another strong player in the virtuals ecosystem. Now, you guys already know I got out of Tibber pretty early, and it kept going. But yeah, that's just how things play out. We did get into Tibber relatively early, not too early compared to some other people that caught it at stealth and things like that, but we got into it relatively early. Now, Altcoin is, if you want to know anything about Tibber, I would say you need to follow him. He always tells you guys all the alpha behind Tibber. And you guys know the big thing about Tibber, a few big things, right? It's backed and built by Ribbit Capital, the 15 billion AUM and 800 million user fintech and crypto empire, right, which is funded by Mickey. Now, Tibber is looking to unlock the true potential of AI in finance with the proof of concept already locked. Now, look into all of this and look more into Tibber. This is one of those altcoins that not too many people actually talk about for a little bit, but there's a good amount of people that know about it, that talk about it once it really starts to pump. But Altcoinist has been one that's been consistent about giving you guys all the alpha on this, right? So you guys got to look into this a little bit more. It does seem somewhat interesting going into 2026, well, into 2026 here. Now, another one that seems fairly interesting that also probably got killed a lot because of the Genesis thing, but now I feel like it's a great time looking at it. It's around the lows again. You guys can see it's around that lows again. It's Axel Rod. Now, they told you guys, Virtual Protocol has told you guys that pretty much they're going to be focused on AGDP, right, ACP and things like that. This is going to be one of the plays that's going to also be helping with that, and they continuously let us know what's going on. So almost a month since the ACP v2 went live, the stress test is officially completed. Milestones since launch: 100 million in AGDP volume, 100k plus on-chain jobs executed, 100k plus agent interactions across the network, right? They're looking to update the C2A fee model to reflect Virtual's focus on not just autonomous GDP, but autonomous revenue as well. Starting today, flat fee are out, so they're building out continuously. And I think that as Virtuals continues to focus on ACP and AGDP and push that out a little bit more, I believe Axel Rod could actually benefit off that push. Lastly, talking about Santa here. Now, Santa, we didn't get a true Santa rally in Bitcoin and in crypto really, but Santa here is looking like it might deliver in 2026 for Virtuals. Now, a lot of people did start talking about this when X402, that little mini narrative became a big thing, and it really pumped with a lot of other ones, right? But this is infrastructure that a lot of people should not forget about, right? It's also, not to be mistaken, backed by Coinbase's dev teams, right? So they're building out an infrastructure for a task. So they have all the big infrastructure plays for agents like, X402, 8004, and I do think that they got another upgrade I forgot that they do have. But as of right now, this does look like it's a decent buy around these areas if you're a big believer in the X402 and things like that narrative. So that is the plays I'm looking at right now for Virtuals. Of course, a lot of things could change because there's going to be a lot of other launches coming on to Virtuals as well through their unicorn launchpad. So I do think that there's going to be some more interesting plays that we may get to see come up and actually stand out in the whole Virtuals unicorn. As of right now, the biggest standout for the unicorn has been Reppo, and I think there's going to be a little bit more, so we can't wait to see. Of course, the list will always change, but you guys let me know what your favorite is in the comment section down below. And if you guys haven't subscribed already yet, please do so. We on that road to 30k subscribers, and if you guys want to help out with that, hit that red subscribe button, and I'll check you guys later. Peace, YouTube.